Yeah. I mean, it's so worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds nice. I've been considering that too, the mentorship.
The mentorship.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm new to it, but oh my God. I mean, it happens. That was the best decision I've ever made.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm already changing, and it's crazy. So the fact that you've been in it for, did you say 2 years?
2 years.
Girl, wow.
Let me tell you, it's been a journey.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know when you guys were ready to take that shadow class, that was the beginning of my transformation.
The shadow
Taking
class.
that class. Yeah. It changed me, the way I think, move, and feel, and go through life.
Yeah.
Have you had a spiritual awakening before, April?
No, I was pretty much an orphan jumping around and just learning on my own. And I met
Yeah.
April randomly through a friend
Oh, wow, cool.
because she was working on healing my son without me knowing through a mutual
Oh,
friend that we have.
oh
Yeah, because
wow.
my son was battling cancer at the time.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
And that's how I fell in love with April. And then I stalked her page for a couple of months and never said anything on her lives until one day she called me out on it.
Oh wow.
And that was all she wrote.
It took me 8 years to find April.
Hmm.
And I had been searching for a long time, and I just happened to see her on Instagram, and I was intrigued by her, the way she was, her bubbliness, her sweetness, and then I just kept watching her videos, and then she started coming up with classes, and I'm like, oh, I got to take Reiki, I got to do this, and then I kind of paused on some stuff, and then all of a sudden, it's almost like you go through like you backstep a little bit, and then all of a sudden you move forward, and then all this stuff started happening, and it's great. It's absolutely great.
Wow.
I'm happy. I'm happy, and I don't mind doing the work. You know.
Yeah, it's one thing to understand and know. It's quite another to do.
Yes.
That integration part is probably the hardest. But without seeing where it's, what's going on, you
Yeah.
can't really do the work. So that's
No. Yeah.
the key.
Yeah. So with the divine healing and just the mentorship, I'm actually seeing where it's coming from.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised because it was all when I was young, and I'm like, wait, what? What? And it makes perfect sense of my whole life. You know what I mean? It just makes perfect sense. So it's going to be trying to undo. I just turned 52 today, so it's trying to you know what I mean? But I'm not afraid to do work. I don't mind it getting messy or scared or angry, or because I've held it in for too long and it needs to go bye-bye. You know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, hi, I'm jumping in a little late. I was trying to feed my kids. Hi, everybody. I'm Veronica.
Hi there.
Hi, Lily. Nice to see you again.
Hi, nice to see you again.
I'm sorry. I was just jumping in like you guys were having the conversation.
What state are you all in?
New York City.
I'm in New Jersey.
New York. Where are you at in New York?
Brooklyn. Well, I'm in upstate right now visiting my parents. We just got here. I was just feeding the kids. But I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh. In upstate New York, are you near Rochester right now, or?
We are in Warwick.
Warwick. I don't know.
15 minutes from Bear Mountain.
Ooh, Okay, no clue. Our like main city where we're at is Rochester, but we live like an hour outside of Rochester in the middle of Nowheresville. Like in the middle of nowhere.
That's kind of like where my parents are right now, in the middle of no, it's like a house, like it's literally sealed, like, and there's mountains everywhere. So it's
Yeah.
beautiful to
Like
be
we're
close to
surrounded by
nature.
mountains and trees, and there's deer everywhere, and yeah.
Ngày mai không có đâu được đâu. Ngày mai không có đâu được đâu. Ai còn thấy mặt tôi chúc mừng các bạn. Mai tay ta đau rồi. Mai ta đi bác sĩ rồi. Ra bác sĩ gặp phật rồi có chứ cửa 2 giờ bác sĩ không vâng cửa nó chạy thẳng lên hospital tôi vô tôi luôn.
Lily,
Yeah.
how is your son?
He's in remission, thankfully.
He's in remission.
We have 1 year in.
Oh,
He was in
wow,
remission,
that's
had a relapse,
amazing.
so now we're back to 1 year again.
Okay. That's because I knew we had been in many of these before, and I've seen you multiple times, and we would talk about your son, but I didn't fully understand what was going on.
Yeah, so he ended up having leukemia a few years back, and then
Okay.
recently he had a relapse in the spinal fluid, so it affected his eye.
I see.
Like optic nerve cancer is what he ended up having.
Oh shoot.
Oh, wow.
But it's okay
How old is
because
your
he's
son?
healed. He is healed. He is now 10. He's a baby.
Okay. I have a 10-year-old too.
Okay.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you know that fight.
Yeah, I know that age.
Yeah. So he is healed. And I'm going to say thankfully to a lot of April's work.
Yeah.
And she did it without me even having to ask, which was phenomenal.
Hi.
Hey.
I've just been kind of listening, letting you guys get to know each other. We're waiting for some more people to join. There's like 14 or 15 people that registered. And I got a couple of messages that they were running a little bit late. So we're just going to go ahead and get started because I know you guys' time is valuable and precious. I'm going to talk a little bit about a brand new modality that I have channeled from source through my own work. And it took a long time, about 5 years, for me to kind of put all the pieces together. And then boom, all of a sudden, the other day I was, grounding with water, and the last piece came in and I was heard run. So I heard run. So it was, to me, that was the
No. This is
to run with it. So so what I want to talk about is how how important this is. It's called emotional rebirth. There's a lot of people out there that claim to be very highly enlightened, and that's just not the case. In order to reach enlightenment, you must be a Buddha or very, 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 very highly in tune. We are on the path to enlightenment, but we are not enlightened. I'm not enlightened. I'm on the path to enlightenment. So I'm getting really close to that peak, but there's still a lot of work I need to do. There's still a lot within me that I haven't fully understood. And I'm okay with saying I'm on the path to enlightenment. There are 5 different states of emotions that get stuck in the in our auric field. Bear with me, guys, 1 sec, okay? Let's see if we can get this to her. Okay. So there's 5 different states of emotion that are linked to our auric field and the layers within our auric field. If you're not familiar with the auric field, we'll go into that later. We're not going to talk about it now. If you hear me burp, cough, sneeze, or if I yawn, this is a form of release. Okay. And so what I'm doing is I was sitting back and I was watching you, channeling what it is that you all need to release and finding words that need to be rebirthed. So as I'm sitting here listening to you guys talk, I'm also clearing out for you as well. So 5 different states of auric field. Our emotions are linked to one of those areas within our aura. The first is feeling, and that's what is associated to emotion. Then it's followed by the surface level emotion, i.e., sadness. I'm sad. Okay, well, why are you sad? It's surface level. I'm angry. Okay, well, what's causing anger? That's angry is surface level. So if you clear out anger, you're not clearing out the underlying root cause. So you're going to experience anger again. Okay. Then we have the origin of the emotion, and then the severity in which the emotion is stored in the body, which is linked to pain in our physical body. So if you're like, oh man, my neck hurts really bad and I woke up this way and I don't know, I must have slept and I got a crick in my neck, chances are it's linked to an emotion. Actually, the chance is there are no chances. There are no what ifs when it comes to our body telling us there's something wrong. There's something wrong when our body is in pain. How many of you, just by wave of hands, have a lot of lower back pain? And how many of you would you say you have anger? Okay. How about guilt? Okay. But that's not stored in the lower back pain. That's stored in our shoulders. So when you feel like you're really heavy and weighed down, the guilt is stored in our shoulders. So what we need to do is we have to find and understand these states so we can dive deep into the root of the emotion in order for it to be rebirthed, in order for it to be healed. We're like an onion, okay? At the root of all of what we are, I have a present for you. I hope you guys can see it. It's a whiteboard.
Sweet.
Okay. So I'm hoping you guys can see. I'll draw like down here. It's a really big whiteboard. So I'll draw in this area. Can you see it?
Yes.
You can?
Not the very top, just mid down.
Okay, so within us, there is this blue flame. Can you see that, the drawing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So there's this blue flame, and this blue flame is the core of our essence. Okay, who we really truly are. And then we have trauma, and we have fears, and we have phobias, and we have emotions, and emotions. And then we have another layer of fear. So what we have to do to find out what our true feeling, okay, what the root cause is and what needs to be rebirthed, the true feeling the true emotion, we have to get through this layer and this layer and this layer and this layer and this layer. We have to get through all these layers and peel them back one at a time. So that's what the spiritual rebirth is all about. Looking into and finding what the surface emotion is. So we backtrack, right? So we know what we want to feel. If we are feeling fear, or we'll say anger, right? Then we have to go down and find out where is it stored. We have to find out what the root cause is. We have to find out what the trigger is. We have to find out how long you've been holding on to it. In order to find the root cause, beguiled, which is the word we're going to use today. So we have to find out why beguiled is the word that needs to be rebirthed. We need to change the tune of this word so we wipe all of that out. Lydia, my dear friend, recently Lydia's my guinea pig. So whenever I try something new, if it's a class or whatever, Lydia's the one that does it first. Okay? So we practiced on Lydia to find out how this works. You want to just briefly go through the process of rebirthing that word?
So you asked me you asked me what beguiled meant.
Right.
Right.
Don't say what it is.
I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay.
And then from there, she began to ask me questions in relation to me and that word. And when she identified all the points in which I have issues or had issues, then she began to ask me how I'm feeling based on certain emotions or certain words, right? So certain words trigger certain parts of your body. So once I identified that, we began to unpack all of that. And I think by the end of the session, I cried. I'm not a crier. I cried. It was to the point where I opened up to her and said things to her that I've never said out loud. So for me, that was a breakthrough, because there were certain things you just don't speak about, right? And you forget it and you put it away and move on with life. So that came out on Tuesday. And she doesn't know this, I was completely shocked that I even said it to her, let alone out loud. So I was floored by that level that she got me there. And then the next day I called her. I'm like, oh my God, I need to do a colonic, not to be graphic. Because I'm bloated and I can't. And she's like, no, you're releasing, you're going through it. And then I called her the next day. Oh my God, I released. And I'm back to my normal size. So I feel lighter. At the end of the session, I felt lighter. And it's weird to say, but my clothes fit me the next day for work better. Like it fit. I wasn't struggling trying to close stuff up. And then at work, that anger that I have towards certain people or certain situations at work, it was like, okay, let's just let it go. I became a different person after my first session with her, which was crazy because I was not expecting any of that. Full transparency. Had zero expectation.
It was one
session.
One session. And completely. So that's one thing I do want to kind of tell you guys is like when you're going through an emotional rebirth, you will feel pregnant. Sorry, Peter, but you're going to have the beer belly. Okay.
I had it for work. Oh my God, that was horrible.
I can't wait to feel pregnant.
Yeah. It's because you're processing everything that you've been storing for so long, and it's got to go somewhere. And in order for it to be rebirthed, that's why I call it emotional rebirth, because we've got to take it in and nurture it. So you might feel a little constipated, but when you go number 2, it is going to be like you are releasing, like you're opening up the you've been on a trip for a very long time in a camper, and you go to dump that out. Okay, it's going to all out of you. And that's the toxins that these words have stored in your body. So when you start to do spiritual rebirth, and I'm not going to like pat myself on the back, but you start to lose weight, your face, you start to look younger. Y'all, I'm 40 years old. I have been doing this emotional healing for 5 years, and have I changed in my appearance? For those of you that know me, do I look older or do I look younger than when you met me? Everybody's muted, so like, no, you can't.
You look younger.
Right.
I have nothing to compare to, but you know, it's hard to say. I think we all carry with us emotions, and it's shown on the outside.
It is. And so when you see people that are like, you know, they have like saggy skin, really like, you know, they look older than what they are, it's because there's a lot of anger stored there, and we're moving farther and farther away from our true blue flame, because we start layering on more and more and more, and it gets heavy. It's very uncomfortable. So when we refer to the spiritual stupa, oh, I get to get up and draw for you guys again. Yay! Okay, so when we refer to the spiritual stupa, it looks like this, guys. This is our true path and purpose. Okay, straight up and down. But wouldn't it be awesome if our spiritual journey was linear? It would be, right? It'd be pretty awesome. Go from point A to point B to point C, and then you're done. But no, universe was like, we're gonna have fun with this. Okay, so they give us the stupa, and the stupa starts out here, and it goes around, and it goes up. It's like a spiral or a Christmas tree. Okay. Okay, it's like a Christmas tree. We start off at birth, and we live life pretty awesome, right? We don't really remember all of that, but you know, we're kids, we're like crawling, doing the baby thing. And then the first trigger moment happens. And this is between 2 and 6 years old. Something happens to us. Our parents start to shush us. They tell us we're stupid, or, you know, don't be dumb. How many of you have a situation with the word stupid? Or crazy? Okay, so that's where that word comes in. Okay, so then we, you know, get through that situation, and it starts to feel better, right? It feels like we're moving up. But then all of a sudden we drop back down, and now we feel low, and we don't know what's going on, right? We feel really low, and you start to wonder and question, and then you get all the way back over here, and then you feel that energy again. A trigger word, stupid. So something happens, and now this is between 6 and 12 years old. So now you are calling yourself stupid, so because you can't pass a test at school, or you're not understanding the way the teacher teaches. So now you are belittling yourself and putting yourself back in that energy, for you to understand and heal that emotion. That's linked to the word stupid. Okay? So then you get out of, whatever grade you're in and you go into the next grade and everything seems really awesome and it's going up, but then something happens and, you start to feel low again and then boom, that stupid comes up again. Your stupid boyfriend cheated on you. Right? So now that stupid word happens again. And then it happens again. And if you notice, it doesn't come back out this way. It goes up and in. Okay? The thing of this is, though, if your boyfriend cheated on you, and now you call you stupid, and you call him stupid, and you call all men stupid, and you call, life stupid, then what happens is this path drops you all the way back down here to start all over again. And then you repeat the same cycles over and over and over again. And that's not fun, right? So how many of you guys have had a situation happen in your life where it's like very similar to the one thing that happened before, but it's a little bit different and you think you had already healed from that trauma? But then something happens and that single word is triggered again to make you feel that all over again. To make you feel so you can heal. You are never going to heal from a thing if you can't feel it. Okay? So this comes in all shapes and sizes, okay? Every single word in the human dictionary is a trigger moment, is a triggering word depending on your experience. Okay? So how many of you guys have a trigger? Remember, triggers can be positive or negative. It triggers a memory. It triggers a feeling. It triggers emotions. That's why they're called trigger moments, trigger memories, or trigger words. So I want you all to think about the word cake. How does that trigger you, Peter?
I think of my birthday cake growing up. It was the same one every year.
Okay. And how does that affect you in your life? Do you look forward to that same cake every year, or do you kind of get bored of it?
That's good stuff.
Good stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Tiffany, I heard you kind of giggle over there and snort about the word cake. How does that affect you? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Okay.
Hmm.
What's your memory?
Celebrating.
Okay. How many of you guys have a negative emotion towards the word cake? What about the phrase, you can't have your cake and eat it too?
Mm.
So there's a positive and negative side to every single word. Your job is to pay attention to the words that cause triggers and investigate. Okay? How many of you guys are blown away yet? Or just like really super intrigued? All right. So because it comes in all shapes and sizes and all flavors, okay? It can also come in different tongue. Okay? So the word om, how does that make you feel? What's the first feeling that you get when I say om?
Peace.
Mm.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
For me, it's community, just because I do it usually in yoga.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Great word. Lydia, I'm gonna call you out, girl.
For me, it would be meditation.
Okay.
my quiet time.
How many of you guys picked up on love?
I got
Nothing?
peace.
Okay. So Om is the vibration of the universe, and the universe is love.
Mhm.
That's what we're all trying to get back to. But what is your trigger when it's referred to the word love? Who said fuck that in your head? Who was the one that said that? I heard the word F-U-C-K. Not going to go there. Okay, fair. Somebody did. So sometimes we have a very negative trigger, and the word is what human condition has put on bad language, like the word fuck. So we're in an investigation process when it comes to emotional rebirth. Because every word has a trigger. That trigger has a memory, and it's linked to an emotion, which is typically linked to about 6 to 10 different words. So now if you take cake, the word F-U-C-K, love, community, all of the words that we just went over, and you look at them at a whole, what's the first one that automatically pops up to you? Just out of the ones that we were discussing, what's the first word that comes to you right now?
For me, it's love.
Mhm.
Love. Okay.
Love. Agreed. Love.
Anybody else want to talk?
Yeah, love.
Love. Okay. So love is the root of the word that we're going to dive into. Very funny, isn't it, Lydia? You want to kind of speak on that for a second? You don't have to go into full detail, but you can just overview, high level overview.
That's a difficult word for me personally, obviously because of my historical triggers. So when we unpack that, we found the root cause of why certain emotions and certain feelings are linked indirectly to that word, which stopped me from progressing in my personal life, with my family, with my other half, with all relationships. So that was one level of healing that we worked or beginning to work on.
It all comes in layers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't tackle the whole thing all at once, otherwise it'd be too much for your energetic body and your physical body to bear. I mean, we worked on a lot with you, and you called me the next day and the next day, and you told me all the things that happened. And if we were to pack on more, your body wouldn't have been able to handle that.
No.
Okay. Once we start really understanding the space that the emotion takes up in its totality, then we can truly start to move forward. Okay. So that's why we call it emotional rebirth. There's no way under any circumstances, and there is no proof that by just changing the mindset and using affirmations that you will truly be released from an actual emotion. How many of you guys have tried to do I am affirmations to heal an emotion?
Mhm.
I think the disconnect there is that you need to probably feel it in your bones for it to work. You
Exactly.
can't just say it.
Which leads me to words are very potent energy. They cause trigger moments. that lead us to the feeling or emotion, right? So we have to change the codependent relationship that we have with negative emotions. We have to change the codependent relationship that we have to negative emotion. What's going on in that head of yours there, Peter?
That was a gold nugget right there, I think. Yeah.
We have to change our dependency on hyper focusing on negative emotions. And the only way to do that is for them to be rebirthed. Once we start releasing enough of these, words that make us feel just nasty, then we truly start to rise up on the enlightenment ladder. Okay? But we have to get beyond ego death. Who knows what ego death is? Truly knows what ego death is. Okay, Peter?
Well, I don't know if it's truly, but I have experienced it through therapy.
Okay.
It was just my onion peeling itself off until there was nothing left. And
But
I experienced the vacuum of me being nothing.
But you still hold on to the codependency to negative emotion.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it was
then
temporary. Yeah.
Right. So you had a feeling or a very superficial understanding of ego death. So ego death is the understanding of human emotion, or excuse me, human experience, and releasing the attachment to self-identify through false emotion. That's ego death. And once we all truly embrace ego death and get back to our true nature of what our feelings truly are, we have not been enlightened. We are on the path to enlightenment. So ego death could be a very triggering word, because a lot of people think that they have already surpassed ego when they have not, because they have not focused on the emotions.
Yeah.
So for you, I truly believe that you have experienced a very brief, high level overview of what ego death is, but you have not gone through ego death.
No, I was basically sitting in the car dealership in the car, and then I left. I don't own the car.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, it's a very tricky thing, but the question is, who are you? I really want you guys to sit there and ask that question to yourself. Who am I? Based on an emotion or a feeling. And when you truly come up with that word, what is it? I'm going to take notes at this point.
My first word is love.
You are love. Okay.
Yeah.
Laura's one of my mentees too, guys, just to let you know. Laura, love. Okay. Veronica.
That's funny. I heard nothing. I am nothing.
So you have a very codependent relationship with negative emotion. So that's what we need to focus on and heal. Because you are something. You are more than something. You are not nothing, but you need to change and rebirth that. Because you are something and it's very special. Okay? Tiffany.
Bubbly.
Peter.
I'm really struggling with this one. I feel like a lot of who I am is for others,
Mhm.
which I like, but it's hard to put words to. I really can't find that word.
What about whole?
Yeah, that's a good one. It
Okay.
fits.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how I feel. That's who I know I am. I am whole.
Yeah.
But there's been a time where I felt like I was not whole.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree with that too. Yeah. I mean, for myself, not for you, but for
Oh,
myself.
yeah. Jennifer, do you want to chime in?
I know what I feel, and I know it's not true, but the first word is unloved.
Okay. So we need to rebirth that unloved to loved. Because you are loved.
No, I know. I know.
It's the ego's agenda to keep you in that negative cycle, to keep
Yeah.
going through it. And that's totally okay. Like, we all been there. I've been there many times. Like, I'm going to be the first one to tell you if I've gone through it. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm still experiencing moments of doubt and, you know, being unloved and unworthy and defeated.
Yeah.
I read somewhere a while ago that ego is awareness in service of fear. And I think that is true.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 levels of ego, though. So there's the ego that we need, the ego that we don't, and the false agenda. So we've got to reprogram the false agenda and get rid of the ego we don't need. So we can use the ego that we need, which is hot, don't touch. Scary, bad man, don't go there.
Yeah.
You know, we need that part of the ego, because if we don't have that, then we don't have a depth of perception of what is safe. Ego's great when it keeps us safe. Ego's not great when it tries to trick us or makes us feel like we're better than everybody else because blah, 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 whatever. Right? Or less than because of the word that we hold on to.
What were those 3 again, April?
Of the ego we need, the ego we don't, and then the agenda. The ego agenda.
The false agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is that codependency to negative emotion, which is the ego's false agenda. Okay. So the earth experience, or the human experience, is to be a human being. Okay. It means that we choose to feel and emote the experiences that we are living through, to have emotion. So people who have emotion and bury it and then don't ever address it again, they're not living a human being experienced. They're trapped and they're living a false life, basically. And I've been there. I've been the one to not have feelings. Like, I never cried. I was yelling and screaming all the time and never smiled. Never. Oh, I can't even do it now. Walking around like that. Everybody, the thing that I heard from everyone around me was, you always look like you have the RBF. You know what that is? Why do you always look like you have the RBF? What? It's just my face. Gave it an excuse. I made an excuse for the way I looked because I chose not to feel emotion. So we need to start really feeling and expressing in order to fully experience the human experience. Okay. That's hard to say. I have to say that one slow. I was practicing in the mirror and I forget it. I'm not going to do this. Because I'd sit there and I laugh at myself. I'm like talking to myself and I'm like, you have to experience the human experience. Yeah, I'm going to do it now. We're just going over it now. Okay. I'm not going to practice. So we have to experience what it is to be human. So what is it to be human? What have you experienced in your human life? Anybody want to like tick off a couple of things? No? Okay, I'm going to tell you.
So I'll say pain
Mhm.
and pleasure.
Yeah. Both sides of what that means, right?
Right.
So we are here to feel and have emotion. Once we do that, then we can truly rise up and reach the goal of the human experience. Okay? Which is feeling the totality of unconditional love, acceptance, joy, happiness, radiating what universe sent us here to do. So the energy that we are experiencing in every moment is literally created by what we store inside via feelings and emotions. And then it projects it out into the reality. So if you have, I mean, this is obvious, right? If you have like major self worth issues and you feel unloved, then you're going to find situations in your entire life in every aspect of it where you don't feel loved, or a form or word of love, meaning accepted, appreciated, safe, right? You're going to find situations in your life that are unlovable. And you're going to start manifesting your own experience that is completely negative by not tackling the emotion under all of it. So, in order to manifest, okay, so this is another thing that like spirit was like getting very salty about, is people are like, oh, I'm a master manifester. Have you experienced emotion? Like, have you gone to the depth of emotion? You can manifest something awesome in the moment, but how long does that thing stay? So if you're trying to manifest love, love will come in, but how many of you guys have manifested love? Love came in, and then all of a sudden it was like, this isn't what I wanted. Because the surface levels are awesome, but underneath all of it is the emotion that you should have felt to begin with before manifesting. Just what it is. So, in order to start moving the earth experience, you and I, Peter, are on the same track, right? We're not here for us to work on us. We're here on us to work on us to figure out what we're supposed to do to help everybody else move forward, right? We are here for the collective. So if we are here for the collective, then what does that mean to you? Does it mean that you do everything on a solo journey and the collective is going to move forward? Or does that mean that you work with other people and other people work with you to move the whole thing forward? We're not here to do this on our own. This is not a solo journey. So emotional rebirth is not a solo thing that you can do. You can do the work, which I'm about to show you how to do. You can do the work so we can tackle and rebirth that, but you have to have someone facilitating the rebirthing process. So that way you're not missing anything. Because you can rebirth all you want on your own, but if you don't get to the very final end piece of it, that's going to come back again. Okay. But I'm going to give you the tools and the knowledge and the wisdom to start to do the work on your own. Then you come to me or someone I've trained to help you with the process of actually going through the birth. Okay. Lydia's gone through it. Laura, did we do it? I don't remember if we did it or not. I don't think so.
We've done just the divine healing.
Okay. So you and I did divine healing. Tiffany and I've only done divine healing. Have you done divine healing yet, Peter? No? Okay. Did we talk about the emotions when we were on your call?
To some degree, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys what you need to do in order to follow the breadcrumbs, but you're not going to be able to do it all on your own. And the reason is when we are working on ourselves, we can only access alpha brainwaves because we are in action. We have to be in theta brainwaves or gamma brainwaves, which is a form of meditation, in order for the very bottom root layer to be reprogrammed or rebirthed, to change the name of beguiled. Okay? To change the very, 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 very bottom aspect of what anger is. So, are you guys ready? You guys all look like, I don't know what I'm getting myself into right now.
No, I have like the same thing repeating in my head ever since you mentioned love. It's driving me nuts.
What is it?
Liar.
Aha.
I have no idea.
Because
And it's
love is a
I'm
trigger word.
reacting.
So love is a trigger word that is associated to liar.
Well, I feel like, yeah, because I'm getting angry, I'm getting hot, it's uncomfortable. I don't because I feel like it was, like with people, why say it? You're full of shit. Why say it?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thing.
It's a very overused word with little meaning.
Yeah.
So love is a huge trigger word for a lot of people.
It's like with me, the opposite. You know what I mean? It's like I love very deeply and very you know what I mean? But to me, other people, it's just like a word with nothing behind it or no action, no. So I've had it literally repeating since you first mentioned it, like 15 minutes ago. And I'm like, oh God, I gotta say something. This is driving me nuts.
I'm glad you did, because love is on the top 7% of trigger words for most people. So 80% of the human population is totally not awake. like at all, because they hold on to too many lower vibrational words and emotion. So we have light workers that are all here. Peter's one, Tiffany, you're one, Lydia's one. Like there's a lot of you that are, but the light workers are not choosing to dive into emotion, therefore they're not doing light work.
It's not it's not light work, it's heavy work.
It is
Hard work.
Yes,
but
very
it's
much.
the process of transmuting the heavy into light. But you can't do light work if you're not working on you and lifting your energy up, like freeing you from the heaviness of emotion. That's why this is so important. We need our light workers, we need the human population to all wake up. And the only way to do that is if people start diving into emotions.
Yeah.
But what's the one thing? Okay, here's a situation, guys. How many of you guys have had a relationship or seen people fight that are in a relationship and one person is like, hey, this is how I'm feeling. And then the other person is like, you always act crazy, or you always go off the handle, or whatever the words are that the other person uses. Yeah, exactly. Right. And then you're like, how am I the bad person to use you expressing your emotion as an attack to them? So then they counteract and attack you for expressing your emotion. Like you're the bad guy for telling someone how you feel, what you're feeling. There's a lot of people, a lot of women, and a lot of men who are in relationships where one person is expressing how they feel and the other person is attacking them for feeling the feeling. When all that is needed is the other person to say, hey, you know what? I didn't know you were feeling that way. This is how I'm feeling. And then you guys work it out. You heal together that way. But one person attacking is because, one person in the relationship is unwilling to change the codependency to the negative emotion. Because most men, sorry, Peter, but I'm throwing you under the bus here. Most men have been conditioned to not feel emotion. There's no crying for baseball, right? You can't cry, you're a man. Grow up, be a man, right? So, ladies, I'm sorry, but our men have been programmed to not feel or emote, and it's not their fault. We just feel it because we're allowed to, right? Because girls are always so sensitive. Okay. And then we get triggered in a negative way for being sensitive. So guess what we do? We put our big girl panties on, and anything you can do, I can do better, Peter. You can change a toilet, so can I. You can cut a tree down, guess what? So can I. Then we stand up and we lean more into the masculine when we're supposed to be leaning into our feminine. And the masculine is supposed to be masculine and make us feel safe and secure and nurtured. And we're supposed to do the same for them, but in a feminine way. And that's when things are balanced. And that's when people have really awesome relationships. And you say, oh my God, like I want a relationship like that. The grass is greener on the other side. Is because those two people are communicating. They're showing this really awesome movie to the world, right? So if two people are expressing emotion, the relationship is going to be amazing because they know how to understand the emotion and they allow each other to express it. But we're not going into relationships just yet. That's a whole nother program. But y'all know how I feel. You guys all know what I'm talking about when it comes to that, because I'm pretty sure y'all all been in that same situation, either one side or the other. Not calling you out that you've been on that side, Peter, of the like the negative Nancy, but you could have been the one saying, hey, I want to feel. That's why you're here. I want to tell you how I feel. And then she's probably way too masculine. And you're like, why am I getting attacked for telling you how I feel? Like, these are my feelings. And I'm allowed to have them because you are. Okay. Are you guys ready to get to work?
Yes.
You're like, yeah, because I'm ready for bed. It's Friday night. Party up, guys. Right? I would. This is my party. Okay. This is going to be fun because we start going all over the board. Okay. We're going to start here and then we're going to go, Lydia, where do we go?
She had to step away for a second.
Oh no, she's still there. I see her.
Oh, never mind. Then she's back.
So we start here, then where do we go, Lydia? But we go and then we're like, and then we're like, and then it all comes back in the end, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that, right?
Sorry, I was on mute. I was talking, but I was on mute.
I know what you were saying. Okay. Do you guys all have a way to use your phone and a computer at the same time? Or do I need to pull up? Oh, I talk a lot with my hands. So if you guys see me waving at you, that's just my soul saying hi. Okay.
Is that what the random hand at the bottom is?
Yeah, that's me. 'Cause I talk a lot, you know, so it's like my higher self being like, oh yeah, hey guys, don't forget about me. You guys have a way to like Google something?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm actually gonna do this because we've been on the call for an hour. I'm gonna give you guys a second to go potty and to do some research. So everybody turn off your camera and your wait, not yet, don't do it yet. I gotta tell you what to do. Okay. So we're gonna give you guys like 2-3 minutes, use a potty, get some water, and do some googly research. Okay, if you can. If not, then just come back and we'll give you the answer. But I want you to Google the word beguiled. Okay. Beguiled. Lydia, you have to continue working on this word. Okay. So beguiled, beguiled. And I want you to write down the definition. There's a lot of definitions and a lot of context to it, but I want you to write down what you feel it means to you. Okay. So read it all and then write your definition to that word. And when we come back, we're going to read those definitions. Okay. Sound like plan? Okay. 3 minutes. You grab some water and stuff. Okay.
Get up.
Hold on 1 second. I didn't say hi to you. Baby, we're not done.
If my face starts turning red, guys, it's because when I touch my face, it turns red. So.
That didn't make sense, but okay.
What was that?
I said that didn't make sense, but okay.
Well, when I
my
touch,
face was red. Turned red.
so
Oh,
when I
no.
touch, when I touch my face, like it like will start turning red. So if I touch my nose, the whole thing turns red. It's weird. I don't know.
Rudolph,
Yes.
your nose
It's
turned
just
red like
now, or is
Rudolph?
it always like that?
Always, ever, like always. I've always
Yeah.
been that way. My
Wow.
skin is very sensitive to
Do
touch.
I still have a minute? My son's asking me for cereal and I don't want him to bother me while I'm listening to you.
Go for it.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I didn't look up the word. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, that's fine.
Because I don't have. I can't. I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I knew somebody wasn't going to be able to research it. I didn't know who, but I knew someone wasn't going to be able to. So that's why I said, it's okay. We've got you.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in here right now.
Did you see my comment
No, I'm looking now.
from earlier?
Oh, in a wreck? Were you in a wreck?
No, you asked
Oh,
how were
I'm
you. Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
But you asked me, so okay.
I love you. And you know that comes from here, right?
Yeah. I'll be the black sheep in the group.
Hey, that's all right. Somebody's got to make noise. Oh. We're gonna, here she comes. I see her shadow.
I'm back.
Okay. Did you get cereal too?
I stole a bite. I do it every time.
You gotta test it.
Right? Gotta make sure nothing's wrong with it, right?
Right, it's the milk. You gotta check the milk.
Exactly. Sorry. You need to lower that. It cannot, I don't want to hear it. Sorry.
Okay. So, beguiled. Who wants to go first?
Steve?
The word. What is your definition of beguiled? Who wants to go first? If you want to go first, just raise your hand, or if you want to go next. Otherwise, I'm just going to call you out. Okay, Peter. Esther doesn't have the definition, so.
I think it means something I experience as very attractive, positive experience that I want to align myself with and rub off on me.
Ah, nice. Okay.
Maybe it
Positive
was in the wrong place.
experience to have. I'm just kind of shortening it, okay?
I'm sorry, but what was the word again?
Beguiled.
Beguiled.
Yeah, I'll write it in the chat. How many of you guys were like, what the heck? What kind of word is that? And where did it come from? The 1920s or like the 1800s? Like, that's a really old word. How
For
many?
me, and I don't know if it's just because of what I've seen or heard, but the first thing is like putting someone under your spell.
Aha, yes.
And usually I associate it like with a woman putting a man under her spell. So doing something to either like, yeah.
Like a
That's how
form
I
of, like a form of manipulation.
Deception, manipulation. Yeah.
Anybody else? Jennifer.
Well, you said the word that I was thinking of, manipulation, liar, deceive. Those are the words that came to mind. Especially when I read the first, at least what, like when I Googled it, the first definition that came up for me, the first thing that came to my mind was manipulation.
Okay. So we had Peter, hold on, I'm writing down Peter. We had Laura, Jennifer, Tiffany. You're muted, honey.
Sorry, I'm all like, mine was deceive, deprive, and fraud.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready. I looked it up.
Okay, Esther.
So I believe in my from what I've seen is that if someone, it has to go back to what you were talking about before. Someone like sees the beauty in another woman, or sees the beauty, or like cheating, or messing around, or not being faithful and truthful. That's what I got out of it.
Okay. Veronica.
I got to charm or influence or deceive.
So Lydia, now, okay, because we already worked on this word. What is your definition of beguiled?
I now see it as a positive word, to attract.
To attract.
Mhm.
What do you want to attract?
The anti of what I had, right? Love, positivity, just to be on a different vibration.
What about nurture?
Yeah, nurture, which is what I don't take care of. Right. Yes.
Which is what we worked on before.
Mm-hmm.
So when you work on this, you need to
Nurture. Yes.
nurture. In your stomach, your heart just fell in your stomach right now.
It did.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that?
Because it's I don't ever get nurtured. I am the one who takes care of everyone, and I only take care of myself when the candle has burned on both ends and I am bedridden, right? So I've never had any person, family or partner, to actually put me first and take care of me.
Would you say that I have nurtured you along the way?
100%.
Do you consider me family?
I mean, you are family, yes.
Okay, so family does.
But you're not in that negative space, right? So when I think of that,
Neither
it's not
are
you
you.
because you have provided me that.
Right, but you're not in that negative space either because you've already reprogrammed to attract.
Correct. Correct. Which is what I need to keep focus on.
You just need to be reminded. Family.
Yes, ma'am.
I.e.
Yes, ma'am.
Can nurture. You
Yeah.
can attract those who nurture in all relationships. So for you, you need to dive more into nurture. And for you, that's what you're going to work on while we work on beguiled. Okay. So take a moment to do your research on the definition of nurture. Because you obviously are not familiar with that. Because I'm right here, you're like, I nurture you. I'm right here. Oh, let's see me.
I know.
So
That's what I was thinking when she said that you were family, but she was still in the negative thought, and she shouldn't be in the negative thought if she had you,
right.
because she's considering you as family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really quick, take a moment to Google the word nurture and find your own definition. So we can kind of look into that for you too. Okay. So you guys hang in there because we're working on you, but we also have to work on her too. So we're going to kind of do 2 birds with 1 stone. Okay. But we got to get you through beguiled because it's such an old word. I wonder when it was created. Who wants to know? Who wants to do the work and find
So
out?
it's Middle English.
Oh, so it has to
The
be-
word beguiled comes from Middle English.
So we're talking.
I think it said the 1800s when I looked
Yeah.
it up the other day.
Yeah, 14 to 1800s. So we're working with an old word, right? So we're gonna clear out a word that goes into many past lives too. Okay. So anytime this word has been used or you have been enchanted or won over, okay, deceived in any way, okay, in this lifetime or past lifetimes, you're going to have a trigger that associates to that from all the way back to when the word was first created. And that's what we're clearing out. So now we gotta do nurture for Lydia because she doesn't have it for beguiled, right? So, all right. So
Sorry, Jennifer. Don't be upset.
Hmm.
I love you too.
It's okay. I see how it is.
So if you guys don't know, Lydia and Jennifer go way back too. We both consider her our bestie, and I'm gonna be at the wedding as the maid of honor, and I will fight people for it. Okay?
Yeah, she's like a sister to me.
Yeah, same. So you and I, we are going to be at the wedding, and I'm like, we're gonna be bridesmaids. She's gonna have somebody else, as the maid of honor, and we're like, well, what you guys don't know is she had to choose her because they're related. But really, I'm the best. I'm the maid of honor. Okay, I'm her best friend. And then she's gonna jump up and be like, well, I've known her longer, so I'm really her. It's gonna be that fight back and forth. The epic wedding of.
But it's interesting how I offended both of you guys with one sentence. So I clearly have more work to do.
Yeah, but you didn't just do us. You did Veronica too.
Because I've been with her in a million classes.
And yeah. And Veronica and Jen go way back. See the big giant.
I collectively apologize.
It's okay. I'll call you later and yell at you.
Okay. All right. So not this Jen, the other Jen. Jen to the no.
Jen to the no.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's just a little bit background. Peter and Laura, y'all are like, oh my God, what is going on?
I love it.
I've been doing this for a very long time, and the longer you work with me, the more you become my best friend. Okay. So just putting that out there. I already consider you, Jennifer, my best friend. So like we go way back to last night.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Lydia.
So we are going to start working on this now. Okay. So beguiled. The actual definition I want you to focus on, okay, just a moment, is to deceive yourself Okay. It is to deceive yourself for your own best interest. And I want you guys to sit with that. And if you don't like that, the way that that's stated, then put it in to trick yourself for your own best interest. Okay. Remember, these are not trigger words that come from, this isn't a word that comes from someone else's actions. This is a word that comes from your own relationship to the emotion tied to the word. Okay. So I want you to kind of think about beguiled, to deceive yourself for your own best interest. Okay. So I'm going to kind of put it into a little bit of context, right? So, or Lydia, you want to help me out with that since you've already done it?
Sure.
Can you think of a time when you have deceived yourself or deprived yourself of something that you thought was in your best interest?
I have deceived myself from trusting others, trusting myself with others, and building those relationships with a solid foundation.
Okay. And what did that cost you?
Clearly everything, right? Having relationships with my family, having never being able to have a healthy relationship with friends or ex-husband, whatever the case is, partner.
Okay. So I want you guys to do the same thing, but I want you to write it down. Remember, you have to do the work. So you're welcome to share, or you can keep it to yourself. But when you're working with me solo, you have to. But I want you guys to understand how we get to where we get by doing the work yourself. Okay. So you put it into context, into your own context. You have deceived yourself from something, and it cost you what?
Do you want me to answer?
No, I'm just,
Oh, okay.
you already did. So for you, you need to work on the word nurture in that same way. And when you have it and you have it written down, you can share if you want. Remember, just put your hand up and then I'll call on you. So that way we're not talking over everybody.
I don't have anything to write it down.
Okay. You can write it in the chat if you want, Esther.
Okay.
So the question really is, when have you beguiled yourself? So for Peter, I love saying your name, by the way, so I'm going to say it often. Plus, you were the first one that commented last time. Okay. So you had already turned it into a positive statement rather than looking at it at the negative, right?
Yes.
So yours was, you wanted to create a positive experience. Oh, you wanted to have a positive experience that rubbed off on you.
Yeah.
So when have you done the opposite? When have you put yourself in a negative situation and it rubbed off on you in a negative way?
Yeah. That's a good question. when I was at school in college, this was my last semester before graduating, and things were going okay. But the thing I didn't pick up on was that you could drop out of that last class and retake it with the purpose of gaining more runway before graduation. And I should have done that, and I didn't.
Okay.
And that has rubbed off on me in a negative way.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's exactly what you were looking for now, but that's the first thing that comes to mind for me.
That's exactly what we need, because that's what was the first thing that came to you.
Yeah.
Right. So write that down,
Mm-hmm.
because we're going to dive into a little bit more of that in a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So Laura, where's my paper? To be put under a spell to enchant, usually a woman to a man. When have you enchanted a man and it turned out not so great? Or seen that happen?
Probably in every like relationship I've had with men.
So you're tricking yourself into what you think you want and getting the total opposite.
Yes.
Okay. So write that down. Tiffany,
Yeah.
are you falling asleep?
No, I'm here. I'm literally just going, okay, did I get this? Did I do it right?
Of course you did.
Mm.
Because you're working on you. There are no
Okay.
wrong answers.
Okay.
So
Mm.
your answer was to be deceived, to fraud, or to deprive. So, because those are three different emotions,
Mhm.
which one hits you harder?
Deceive and deprive have, I think deprive, because I don't know if I did it right, but I deprived myself from worth, and it cost myself positive self-esteem and worthiness.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I circled for you, was the word deprived. So now you need to take that word deprived and write that word down.
Okay.
Okay. So this is actually really awesome, you guys, that this actually came up, because now she has beguiled, okay? She has deceived, she has fraud, and she has deprived. So what we need to do is we need to understand which one holds more power. For her, it was deprived.
Right.
Okay. So we need to dive deeper into that. So Esther, when it comes your time, Veronica, when it comes your time, pick one of those words that hit harder for you. Okay. So Tiffany, you said to deprive of your own worth. And you
Mhm.
nearly started crying with the word worth.
Mhm.
Now you have another layer of beguiled that you can add to, which is worth. So
Worth.
write down worth as well. Remember, every word can be a trigger, whether it be a positive trigger or a negative trigger. The more you're aware of the words that trigger, the more you can heal. So, Laura, when we're in coaching, Tiffany, that happened to you today, right? So when we're in our mentorship call, and I'm just like going off the top of my head, just, you know, because you know, when I'm working with you, I'm channeling what you need in that moment. So Tiffany today, for some reason, I don't even remember how it came out, but I used the word crazy. And that triggered you. And it triggered you in a negative way. And then we went through the rabbit hole to find out why and where it came from. So that way we could heal from that trauma. Right? But we didn't heal the word crazy.
Mm-mm.
And that's why it still triggers you when I say it now. Even though I'm not using it.
Right. It's not being meant meanly or anything. Yeah. It's the word itself.
So how many of you guys have crazy? It stirs something inside of you. Ladies, how many times have you been called crazy by your spouse? Okay. And it triggers. Peter, have you ever been called crazy in a negative way?
I have not, I don't think. Or I have, but it haven't really faced me.
It doesn't faze you,
No.
right? Okay.
No.
So when we're on the spiritual journey, a lot of the times we go and we tell our family, I am gonna stop doing what I'm gonna give. Okay, so this has literally happened in my life. I owned a housekeeping company and I made over $800,000 a year. And I woke up one day and I said, I am going to give my company to my employees and I'm going to do readings online for donation. My ex-husband got so pissed off about that and called me crazy all the time. You're crazy. What makes you think that you can make money off of that? That's stupid. Oh, a lot of trigger words there. Right? But look at where I'm at now. Most of you know me. And this noggin is expansive. I know you better than you know yourself. Lydia, is that true? It's true.
Sadly, yes, it is true.
How many times you send me something about Alex and I'm like, I know. I don't do it in a negative way. It's because I know.
Yeah.
I know. Esther, same thing happened with you too. I know you guys better than you know yourself. And well, most of you anyway. I haven't gotten the opportunity to really get to know a lot of you, but like I'm here for you. So I'm not crazy, right? I'd be crazy not to. I would be crazy to not do what I do right now. Because then I wouldn't get to help Lydia and I wouldn't get to help Tiffany and I wouldn't have been able to help you, Veronica, too, and Esther and Peter through your soul contract, through your soul mapping. And Laura, how am I helping you now?
A lot. Yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot that I would be missing out on. I would be crazy to not do it. I'm so glad I walked away from that company. Who wants to be elbows deep in a toilet when you're 40? You know what I mean? That's fun, right? Seriously. So I walked away, even though everybody else said I was crazy for doing it and that I was stupid and how was I supposed to survive? And guess what I get to do now? Look at me. right? Because I changed the idea of crazy for me. And that word triggered me to dive into changing what words mean. But I didn't know what I was doing and where it would end up and how it would be turned into a modality to help other people heal. Didn't know that then. But I was like, I'm not crazy. I'd be crazy not to. My mind already went there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for you. Veronica, to charm, influence, or deceive.
I would say I have deceived myself that I am unworthy.
To deceive yourself that you are worthy.
I am.
Mm-hmm. So that one hits more for you and also worth around your worth. So write that down too. Okay. Esther, cheating, unfaithful, and truthful.
Didn't I say beauty too, or no?
I only wrote down those three. But
Okay.
whatever one hurts you, like whatever one hits you harder. Which
No,
one?
beauty.
Beauty. Okay. Alrighty. So you're depriving yourself of your own radiance, your own beauty. We've had a conversation about that before. We're not going to get into it. How or why or the whens and the wheres. Okay. But we're going to move forward now. Okay, guys? All right. So now you have the word that is your trigger. That you beguiled strikes you in a way. You have to understand to find the trigger. Right? So if somebody says, Esther, oh, this girl's so beautiful. How does that hit you?
It kind of triggers me a little bit, kind of compare myself.
Mm-hmm. So for
but it falls in place with everything else that I mentioned. So that's probably why I feel the way I feel.
With that word.
The other three words, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So Tiffany, so you see how we're going down the layer? We're going in the layers. So Tiffany, now that word worth, how does that knowing that you feel unworthy, what is an emotion? So unworthy is a feeling. It's not an emotion.
Okay. The feeling.
I feel unworthy.
Right.
Okay.
I
I
feel
don't
unworthy.
emotion. So if you can say I feel, okay, then like worthy, I feel worthy, I feel unworthy. This is a feeling. Okay. So
It's a
so what we
it's a
want to do is we want to dive into the feeling. So guys, what I'm trying to explain to you is we want to deprive, right? So deprive, we want to write down as many words that come up for Tiffany's word deprive, right? But do it for your own word. So Peter, you're going to have to do a little bit of work here because you already turned it into a positive. Okay. So Laura, yours is under spell, to be enchanted. Okay. So take either under spell or enchanted, and dive deeper into that word and just write down as many words as you can revolving around that specific word or phrase. So we did the work with Lydia. Lydia, do you mind if I read yours?
Okay.
So we did the work with Lydia. Hers was beguiled. Then she was like deceived. Okay, so now we got to find a feeling. She felt deceived, right? Tiffany, you felt unworthy. Esther, you felt you felt that you weren't beautiful enough, right? Veronica, you felt deceived, right? You felt unworthy. Okay. So we want to take that feeling and we want to write down everything that we can about that feeling. So Lydia said deceived. Okay, so how does that make you feel? What is the emotion surrounding it? Well, I was pissed, I felt betrayed, I was disappointed, I was hurt, I was angry. Okay. So we need to find as many words as we can revolving around the one trigger word. So the more we investigate, the more we dive in, the more we can heal because we get to feel it more. What we can feel, we can heal. Okay. So do that for me. So Lydia, you and I are going to go through yours again. Okay. Is that cool?
That's fine. That's fine.
So that way we kind of have like a little roadmap to give them and show them through the words that are already there. Okay. But for you, while you guys are all doing you're like adding to the words to your list, remember the more trigger words we have, the better we have at rebirthing the entire like root word, beguiled. Okay. So kind of sit and do a little bit of work while I work with Lydia for the word nurture. Okay. So Lydia, on the word nurture, how does that make you feel? The word nurture itself.
Honestly, decepcionada, deceived. Believe it or not.
It's supposed to go back to it because it comes from that word deceived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you felt deceived. Okay, what else?
Disappointed, frustrated. I think that would sum it up. Annoyed.
Okay, dig deeper.
Angry, hurt, betrayed. I mean, the list goes on.
Keep going.
Doormat.
Aha. That is a trigger word. Okay. Doormat. So what I'm doing on my end is I'm hearing the words that you guys are saying, that you are feeling. And I'm listening for it to be a trigger word. Betrayed, anger, hurt, annoyed. She was annoyed that she had to do this again. That's where the annoyance comes from. That you have to keep working on something. Right? That's where it came from.
Yeah.
So disappointed, deceived, disappointed in yourself for not really fully embracing nurture.
Yes, in part.
Right.
Yes.
But that's not the point. The point was to heal betrayed and to find out where all it went to get to reprogramming that to nurture. But it doesn't stop there.
Right.
You have to now feel into nurture. So it's going to come back, to all of the words that you felt with beguiled, because that's where nurture was stored under the belt of beguiled. Okay. So now, doormat. Talk to me about doormat. I want you to tell me an exact time where you felt like you were a doormat, because that's exactly what you're feeling right now. You felt like you were someone's doormat.
I mean, well, this goes back to my family. Today. Actually, I'm in my mom's house now. Today at my mom's.
Yeah. And when you are experiencing that feeling like a doormat again, what emotions come up?
Well, today's a different emotion than in the past, because I've become
Good.
more aware, right, based on our previous conversation. So today I shut down because I was disappointed in myself.
Okay. Alrighty. So what actions are you taking when you're disappointed in yourself?
I normally just shut down and get angry. I'm trying not to do that and address it as it arises.
Okay.
And part of that is having the conversation with my family, even though it's like talking to a brick wall, right? But I converse for me, not for them.
So you feel unheard.
I will always be unheard when it comes to my parents. Always.
So if you take unheard and nurture, how do they relate?
For me, they go hand in hand.
Well, they do, but how do they relate?
My family, my parents do not nurture me, and they do not listen to anything that I have to say.
Now take that and apply it to you doing that to you. And instead of unheard, unseen.
So I retreat. And I go in my bubble and I hibernate. And I just disappear. That's my MO.
So you disappear. When you disappear, how are you feeling in that moment?
Hurt, right? Disappointed by my parents, and frustrated that it's a never-ending cycle. So I'm the hamster in the wheel, going nowhere.
Okay. But remember, I told you to take unheard and unnurtured. And I wanted you to feel into you. And you went straight back to your parent.
You see, right? I did.
So you can't even see you to nurture you.
Correct.
And how does that make you feel?
I feel defeated, I guess. Defeated is my word.
Where are you feeling defeated?
In my heart right now, as I'm talking to you.
Take a moment, open your mouth and breathe. Do a body scan. So you guys, a body scan is where you breathe in from your mouth, not through your nose. When you start breathing through your nose, you're getting stuck in the head, and that's where the rat race begins. Your mind will never stop. Breathe through your mouth, down into your heart, and scan. How does my head feel? How does my face feel? How does my jaw feel? How does my neck feel? How do my shoulders feel? And tick off all the areas in your body that you feel different. So you might have a slight pinch in your neck. Your shoulders might feel really heavy. You might feel like there's a weight on your chest. Your stomach might start feeling yucky. You might feel like your ovary is feeling very painful. Lower back pain. Your hoo-ha might start feeling warm. Like, these are the things that happen, right? So, Lydia,
Yes.
where did you feel that in your body?
Both of my shoulders, my spine, my brainstem, neck, and the pit of my stomach.
Okay. So our heart is related to self-acceptance. Your shoulders are related to guilt. Your neck refers to judgment. And the pit of your stomach is your inner knowing. So I want you to sit with the knowing that you hold judgment and guilt for your own self-acceptance. Okay. And take a moment to write down anything and everything that comes up for you emotionally, physically, feelings, emotions, thoughts. Write all of it down. Does anybody else want to go? Who's next? Nobody? Everybody's like, nope. You can keep working on her.
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, mine was deprived.
Deprived. Yes, ma'am.
I felt hurt, angry, sad, disappointment, broken, left without, used, taken advantage of, alone, unseen.
Alone. That's your trigger word.
Okay. And for some reason, whoops, sorry, and that doormat was a really good one. I put that door. I've been a doormat. I've always said that, so I didn't think of that until Lydia had said that. And then I put
trigger word.
I feel, and I've said this many times throughout my life, I feel I am standing outside a sliding glass door, banging on the door in the dark, saying, please let me in. And people are looking at me and no one cares. I'm left out by myself, alone.
Which is why your trigger word is alone.
And it leaves a feeling of my heart breaking or broken.
Okay. Who broke your heart? Did it happen in work? Did it happen in relationship? In family? Where did it come from?
I think family.
Okay, so your family made you feel alone. That broke your heart, right? So when you're in the energy of the word alone, what are your feelings or emotions?
I'm scared. Um, I don't understand. I'm angry. I'm pissed because my first thought is I would never do that to anybody. They're worthy. They're worth it. Why would you leave somebody out? In despair, or watch it and just like absolutely do nothing. I'm confused. My brain gets confused.
Hmm. Okay, so your trigger is the belief that your brain gets confused.
Oh,
That's what your trigger is. So every time you say my brain gets confused, you're re-triggering all of those emotions that you just said, all those feelings. So I want you to sit with the word, my brain gets confused. And I want you to do a body scan. Where do you feel it in your body? Breathe through your mouth, not your nose.
my heart and my stomach. The middle of my back. My legs. My head. My neck. Okay, that's where I feel it.
What about your left hand?
I don't know. It's holding my phone. I can't tell because I've been holding my phone this whole time.
Okay.
I didn't.
So
I
close
don't
your
know
eyes.
okay.
Close your eyes and breathe from your mouth and take your energy to your left hand. Notice the feelings in your hand. Does it show?
No, it's shaking.
Okay. So your left hand.
Yes.
You missed that spot.
Okay.
So your heart is self-acceptance. Your stomach is holding on to the emotion. Okay. The codependent. The codependency to that phrase. Okay.
Okay.
The middle of your back is anger. Your legs is anger. Your neck is judgment. The top of your head is the lack and trust of your connection to source.
Okay.
And this is the judgment, the belief that you have. It's not that you're truly unconnected from source, it's the belief behind it. Okay?
Mhm.
Your left hand is the ability or the lack of the ability to heal. The unwillingness to healing. Right? So, because you have this program, my brain gets confused. Your left hand is telling you that you are unwilling to heal it, which is why you hold on to that trigger word. Because of the codependency to all the other emotions and feelings. So I'm going to let you sit with that for a minute, and I want you to feel into how does that make you feel? Okay? Don't tell me, write it down. Okay? So knowing that you have an unwillingness to heal because of the judgments that you've placed on yourself, because you believe that you have a lack of connection to God or source, that makes you very, very angry. Okay? Very, very angry. Not angry. It makes you very, very angry. Because of the codependency to emotions, you feel like you have no self appreciation. You literally fight yourself, right?
Mhm.
So you have no self acceptance. So I want you to sit with that and write down everything that comes up from it. And you might even cry, and that's okay. Tears are a form of purification, and those are needed. Okay? So if you need to turn off your camera, it's totally fine with me. If you need to cry, just make sure you mute. Okay. Peter, you're next. I saw you. Do you still want to go, or you're like, maybe not?
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Um,
Hold on, let me get to your page. Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
okay.
What's your word? Original word.
Inadequate.
Inadequate.
The other words that came up was deprived and unworthy. It's where I feel like I've fallen off my path to my goal and my professional intent. Disappointment.
Oh, not professional intent, but the lack of success.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
I'm writing it down, so hang tight, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Lack of success. Go ahead.
Disappointed.
Mhm.
Failure. Invisible. Lost. Defeated.
Okay. Which one of those do you think is your trigger word?
Inadequate.
Mhm.
Yeah. I've been sitting with that one since our chat.
Mhm.
And it's been to great help.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad because
Yes. Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay. So, how does inadequate relate to you in your life? In all aspects of life. We're talking mentally, we're talking romantically, through friendships, through family, through work, through your spirituality. How is inadequate affecting you in those areas?
I think romantically, it affects me in that I am not often with the right people. I start dating people that are probably not a good fit.
So
And
the people you're dating are inadequate.
No, I feel inadequate,
Okay.
and I probably will not commit fully because I don't feel like I'm able to be my full self because I feel inadequate.
Okay. So
Yeah.
non-committal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that word, how does non-committal hit you?
It rings true. It rings true.
Feelings, emotions that come up from that word? Or from
Nothing
the
good.
no,
Yeah, nothing good.
let them out.
Yeah.
What you can't feel, you can't heal. So I
Yeah.
want you to feel into non-committal. How does non-committal relate to your children?
I don't think they do.
My stomach is on fire right now.
Huh.
Do you ever feel like you have not committed fully to your children since they were born?
No, but I felt inadequate.
Okay, so let's talk
Um,
about that.
Yeah.
In what areas did you feel inadequate with your children? I mean, you can say what you want to say because obviously there's a bunch of people here and it's
Yeah,
recorded.
no, that's okay. That's okay.
So-
But thank you. No, I think it's ties in with time management.
So you're not committed to spending time with them because of the lack of success that you're feeling. So you have to spend more time working, so you spend less time with the children, or vice versa. You're spending more time with the children, so then, yes, it will be recorded. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye. Love you. So, sorry about that.
That's okay.
The lack of commitment, that non-committal, right? We're not looking at it linear.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at it full spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So non-committal is lack of commitment. It can be anything. It could be lack of commitment through emotion, lack of commitment through time, through energy. It can be lack of commitment from anything, but my stomach is on fire, so it resonates with your children.
Mm.
So we got to find out why. The other one that really stuck out was the lack of success. So the lack of time to commit to your children, right? Because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough time, is the thought that's in there, right? So the lack of time and the lack of success is causing this rift between work and family. So if you don't have enough time for children, how are you going to have enough time for a girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because you don't even have time for work. Because if you had time for work, you'd be successful. And in order to make money, you have to work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have time. You see how that is going around in a circle?
Yeah.
So because this isn't about, it's not fully about the career, it's more about the children. I need you to feel into that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some space to do that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And like really feel into how that sits, because that's where that inadequacy has such a grip on you.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, who wants to go next? We're not even halfway done with you right now, but we're kind of like, we're gonna get through one person so you guys can do the work on your own. And what I'll do is, since we've already started the process with this for you guys, message me after and we'll go through the full process, and I won't charge you for this first session. Okay? Because we are kind of running, we're already 30 minutes over. No, we're almost an hour over the time that I had like given you guys. So I don't want to take up too much more of your time. And I know it's getting late for y'all on the East Coast. So I'm gonna finish up with Lydia because we're already a lot further along with her than we are with the rest of you. But everyone who has been doing this on this live, everybody that joined this live, go on send me a message through text. You guys save my cell phone number in your phone. Or I'm gonna write it in here. 20. And text me. I'll send you the link to schedule a session so we can fully clear this out for you and rebirth it. Okay. But those of you that I didn't fully work with and didn't talk to you about it, are you getting the idea of how we dive into? Does anybody have any questions up to this point?
Not me.
Okay. Jennifer? She's like, I don't care. I'm going to sign up for mentorship. We'll do it then.
No, sorry. I'm carrying my son upstairs. He fell asleep on the couch.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to you. Esther?
Yeah.
Do you understand the way that we're doing this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Are you on date night?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
was. But now I'm on my way home.
Oh, okay. All right. So same goes for you. You want to work on this further and clear it out fully, you just message me. You already have my number, but message me and I'll send you the link to get it scheduled, okay?
Okay.
All right. So nobody has questions.
No.
Okay. So we've gotten halfway through with Lydia. Okay. We've gotten halfway through the rebirthing process. So my sessions for the rebirthing process, first of all, I want to ask you guys, you see how you can't do this on your own? You have to have it facilitated. You have to have a party holding space for you to feel into the emotion and dive. Okay. So, okay. All right. Do you have any questions, Jennifer, about the process? Or you kind of get it?
No, I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay. So, the way that we structure this is because it takes so much time to like really dive in and fully feel each feeling and emotion. It takes about 2 hours to really do the work. So my sessions are $222. So you guys will all get your first session for free and we'll really go into this. The reason why I'm doing these seminars is because $222 is not, a number that everybody can afford. So if you can get through a lot of the work on your own, then we can do an hour session, which is only $111. Okay. But I need to see your map of the emotion before you schedule basically the half session, right? So we can really tackle those emotions and rebirth them quickly. All right. Does that all make sense to you guys? Yeah. Okay. If you're part of the mentorship program, it's included. You don't even have to worry about it. Okay. Same, Laura, don't worry about it. I got you. Jen,
Been on my note.
Jen, I got you. Faye, I got you. Lydia, You already know.
I'm really nervous about all of this.
Well, are you nervous to find out who you truly are? Or are you excited to find out who you truly are?
Both.
You're nervous to do the work, but excited for the outcome?
Yeah.
So why are you holding on to nervous about the work? And this is where I jump through the phone and I give you a big giant hug. So just, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Stop fighting and just receive. Okay, don't push back. Open. There you go. There you go. We got you. And we're going to be here for you. And we're going to be standing by your side and rooting for you the whole entire time. At least all the ladies in mentorship will. And Peter, if he joins. Okay? Truly. We're here for you. All right? This is a community of love. All right. So, moving on to where you felt this. My dear friend, Lydia. Okay, so you felt it in the pit of your stomach. You felt it in your neck and in your shoulders and in your heart. What did you come up with from that? So, remember how we did? I want you to find your heart space around acceptance. You're already clearing something out, Jennifer, because I just burped. All right, around the heart and self-acceptance. Lydia.
So what kept coming up was,
Oh, wait, hold on. So what we do from here is when we get to understand where we're holding and storing these emotions, then we take the emotion. So basically, what we did is I told her, okay, so we went to the heart and we hold self-acceptance there. That's where you hold self-acceptance. The self-acceptance goes to like her parents making her feel defeated. Right? So the guilt is, what is the guilt? So first, what is the self-acceptance, Lydia? What is it?
For me, it kept coming up in setting boundaries.
Ah, okay. Okay. Your own boundaries.
Yeah.
For you to follow.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So, in your shoulders, you hold guilt there. Okay.
It said stop. I don't know what that means. I've been trying to figure that out. But the word that kept coming up at my shoulders was stop.
Okay. So basically, the guilt is telling you to stop being guilty. Why do you feel guilty for not setting boundary? Or why do you feel guilty for not establishing boundaries?
Because they're my parents. Or no,
Exactly.
more importantly, my mom.
Right,
my mom.
because it's your mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your mom is supposed to be nurture. That's what a mother does.
Mother, she nurtures my son, not me.
Right. So you need to stop feeling guilty about establishing boundaries around your mother who's supposed to be nurturing you. Because if she would have nurtured you, then you would have felt you would have known how to nurture yourself.
Correct.
So that's where what the stop is telling you. Stop giving excuses to people who are unwilling or unable to do the work themselves. How does that feel for you? Like you just got a little bit of your power back?
Yeah.
You don't have to
But
feel
it's going to be
guilty.
something I have to consciously work at.
Right. Because you need to reclaim your power from your mom,
Mm-hmm.
which is setting boundaries.
Right.
Oh. Like, oh my God, is that really true? If I set boundaries, I get to reclaim my power. Oh my God, this is amazing. It's so true. So when I said you need to stop giving excuses for people who do not want to do the work, you felt like, oh, I think I just got a little bit of my power back. And you felt guilty for feeling that. That's why you didn't want to say it. Stop. I know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah.
So you need to stop that. Okay? Start building boundaries for yourself and for others and start reclaiming your power. Okay? All right. Now you hold it in your neck. Neck is judgment. Why are you judging yourself? Or why do you hold judgment? Where is the judgment being held? Who is it being held against?
Myself.
Right. Okay. Which is, okay, why are you judging yourself?
Because I had higher expectations or I had an expectation of what my family was supposed to be and act and right.
You have unrealistic expectations due to codependency towards negative emotion.
Yes, ma'am.
No, I'm asking. That's more of a question.
No, that's you've summed it up correctly.
Right. So feel into that. How, like, what is that making you feel in this moment? Knowing that you are judging yourself for that reason. What is the reason? Tell me.
The reason why I'm judging myself, it's because I expected something different from my parents. Through the lens of a parent, now that I'm a parent, right? And I received everything opposite that. And I continue to receive opposite, right?
Because you have unrealistic expectations due to codependent emotions.
I need to let it go.
Yes. Dun, 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 dun.
Mm-hmm.
So when we hold expectations, or when we have expectations of somebody or something doing something the way we think they should do it, we're taking away their power. And we're also giving them our power too.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a simple law called the spiritual law of non-judgment that we should all live by. Do not judge others. You cannot expect other people to do a thing because you're taking away their free will. Let them do it on their own. It's their choice. That's why I say it's unrealistic expectations. If you have high expectations, then you're really taking away their free will. So your guilt is saying, stop it. You're better than that. Set your own damn boundaries, woman.
Mm-hmm.
And once you stop being guilty, once you stop that unrealistic expectation, and you set boundaries to yourself for yourself to stop having expectations of what people do and let them do what they're supposed to and what they want to do, because they have the law of free will on their side. Same as you. When you came to this earth, you chose your parents. You came in as a soul with your name. And you gave your parents 2 different names and gave them free will to choose one, because they both carried the same vibration for your life path. Which
Makes sense.
Yep. All right. So in the pit of your stomach. Oh, wait. Going back to neck. No, we did judgment. Pit of stomach.
Pit of my stomach.
Okay.
So believe it or not, I had change expectations in that one.
Dun, 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 dun. Woo! Hey, you're breaking. That's a breakthrough right there. Okay.
Yeah.
So your inner knowing is to change your expectations. It's to have no expectation.
Right.
Okay. So your inner knowing, God, this is great, is to release expectations. Okay. Remember, words are triggers. That's the reason why we both love the word exponential. You want to release expectation. When you say release expectation, how does that make you feel?
Lighter, emotionally lighter.
When you say whatever you wrote, I don't even like it, I didn't write it down.
Change expectations.
How does that make you feel? Like you like in your body? Is it heavy?
Uneasy.
Right.
It's
exactly.
just uneasy.
Because
Right.
it's not right.
Right.
So release expectation is a much lighter word because it's more in line with your truth. Okay. All right. So going over all of this, and my stomach is like, you guys are going to make me have to go number 2 right now. Because that's a lot of emotions I'm dealing with right now. My stomach is like very tight and tense and just like very uncomfortable. Right? All right. So now going back to reading this backwards. Okay, guys, we're going to read it backwards from the first place we felt pain, or wherever we felt this in our body, we wrote it down. Okay, we're writing it down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so for her, she felt it first in her heart, in her shoulders, in her neck, and in the pit of her stomach. Okay, so now we're going to go in reverse and we're going to read it back to ourselves. Okay, so your inner knowing is to release expectation due to unrealistic, codependent emotions, or due to the unrealistic expectation of codependency to emotion, right? So you need to stop and set boundaries. Okay. So your inner knowing is to release expectation to unrealistic expectations due to codependent emotions. You need to stop that and set boundaries. If you were to use that as a program's command statement, what would that command statement be? And I'll help you with it because I helped you with the last one, remember? If you need to, I'll help it with you now. If you need me to. Okay. So make your command statement. A command statement is a statement that you truly feel inside of you really resonates, like you can believe it yourself, that's a command statement. So for you, Lydia, with Beguiled, okay, you guys are all working with Beguiled, right? So for you, it was, so you, where did we go with this? Hold on. We need to find the negative first and then the positive. I'm sorry, guys. So you need to find the negative to what it is. So Lydia's was using beguile to my benefit because I am unworthy to be nurtured. Okay. So you take the word, you're using the word beguile to your benefit because you are blank to be blanked. So that's your program. We got to find the program before we can reprogram it. Okay. Or rebirth it rather. Because it's literally a rebirthing process. That's why we go through all these layers. Okay. So you need to find the program. What is the program? So again, for Lydia with Beguiled, using Beguiled to my benefit because I am unworthy to be nurtured was hers. Okay, so when you do all the work and you dive down each of those rabbit holes and you go into the labyrinth of all of the words that have caused triggers, you're going to find the root cause, right? So the root cause for her in this situation with nurtured would be what? You're muted.
No, I'm just drawing a blank, right?
Oh, okay.
My root cause to my unworthy to be nurtured is I don't know if it's right, but it stems back to my family.
Exactly. Which it should be. It should.
Right.
So you're using your family as an excuse because your inner knowing has nothing to do with your family. It's
Correct.
about you doing something for you. Right?
Correct.
Okay. So I am unable, let me see. Hold on. I am unable to establish boundaries because I am a doormat. How does that feel within you?
That's a tough pill to swallow.
It is a tough pill to swallow. Where do you feel it in your body?
In my stomach.
Specifically where in your stomach?
Same place, like the pit of my stomach. Like it that hit hearing you say that statement hit hard.
Okay. What do you want to change it to? What's your program statement?
So what I initially wrote, and I don't know if it's correct, is I release all expectations and codependencies. And then I wrote, because I am worthy. But I still need to play with it because it's just not flowing correctly.
Right. Which is what we had to do before. So what we did with her through Beguiled is we originally started with it led into nurturing and it checked off all the boxes. We dove into nurturing before, but we never cleared out nurturing because we had to work on beguiled first, right? But we found where it was leading. Okay, which is why we're working on nurture now. So I am emotionally receptive and comfortable to embrace all aspects of nurture. That was what we started with, and it was like, man, didn't fit, right? So what was your command statement for your beguiled? Because remember, the source of beguiled being activated for you was nurture. Okay. So what was your command statement? Do you remember?
I have to look for it. I have it written down.
I am emotionally able to embrace all aspects of nurture.
Yes.
That fit. That was like, oh my God, that's what it is. And it made you cry.
Mm-hmm.
So now we need to find that statement that you can believe that will make you cry. But it has nothing to do with establishing boundaries doesn't have anything to do with doormat. You don't want to use any of those words because we already recognize what it is that's causing this. So what do you want to rebirth in that place? How about I release expectations and I set clear and solid boundaries?
Set clear, solid boundaries. I release all expectations, set clear, solid boundaries.
Or
Okay.
I release all expectation and establish solid boundaries.
I like that better.
Okay.
I release.
I release expectation. And set solid boundaries. Okay, do you guys see how we got to that? Yeah. Are you guys able to get to that on your own? No? That's okay. Lara, how about you? Do you think you could get to that on your own?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
So the more you work on that, the faster we can clear it out during your sessions. Okay. How about you, Peter?
Me, yes. Well, I've written things down here. I think the non-commitment to the children is new to me. Is something I haven't heard before. I've heard pretty much the opposite from everybody around me, but I think there is something there, and I looked into that, and what came up for me was that I do feel deflated, unmotivated, and that has led me to see them less than I probably actually do want. I do want to see them a lot more. And I think I can kind of dig deeper into why that's the case. But what comes around is the statement that I've written here is I am inadequate to live fully, to love fully, to work fully, and to commit fully.
So we want to shorten that up a little bit.
Yeah.
Shorter is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got to condense it. So say the first part of your statement again. I didn't write it down, so I can't remember.
Yeah, that's okay. I am inadequate to live, love, work, commit.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
To use inadequacy as a crutch. Or to use inadequacy as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Because to love, to live, to work, to commit, like, there's a lot of stuff. Sounds to me like you're making excuses for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the program.
Yeah, right.
So inadequacy is being used as an excuse for you. Well, I'm inadequate, so I can't live fully. I can't love fully. I can't work fully. I can't commit fully because I'm inadequate. Your inadequacy is labeled, you've labeled it as an excuse.
Mm. Yeah, I see that.
So that's what I pulled in crutch. Like what I picked up was crutch. So
Right.
that might be a trigger word for you. You might want to look into that one.
Yeah.
But it would be excuse. Okay.
Yes.
So you would want to reprogram that after doing the rest of the work like we did. And like really diving into where the emotions are being stored in your body and what they make you feel when they're only in that area. And
Yes.
I have Archangel Michael with me right now talking to you. He's on my shoulder. He's every time Archangel Michael comes around, he puts his hand on my shoulder. Right here.
Yeah.
And it's just I can feel him there. So he wants to help you clear this out because you are absolutely 100% adequate. Like he's coming in to make himself known as I'm talking to you. Lydia's not even here anymore. Her phone died.
No. I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that definitely is something that needs to be cleared out. And it comes to your children because again, my ovaries are like not happy. My body is telling me what you need to do to heal.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we can all sit with that a little bit. How many times have we all felt a little inadequate with our children? I know I have. God.
Yeah.
Mine's in college now, living her best life up there at NAU. That kid, right? So, like, we all feel inadequate as parents. How many of you guys had a super awesome, stellar life where your parents treated you like you were the cream of the crop of all children? No, I know I didn't, right?
Yeah.
We're here to change the tune of how we were parented and parent our children the way that we needed to be parented. That's why we all have a pull to you right now. Tell me, everybody that's in here right now, are you like, oh my God, I feel you right now, Peter? Like, I feel right where you're at. I'm right there with you. How many of you guys feel that you're right there with him right now? Either as a parent or as a child needing that from your parents. Right? I'm right there. I know you all are. We all are children. Okay? And to heal the world, we must start with the children. That's why Archangel Michael came by. To remind you of that.
Yeah.
To heal the world, we must start with the children. Oh. Good sigh. You just let something go.
I did.
Yeah. Good sigh. All right. So I can't program it for her. We can't go through the process of programming, like reprogramming, because she's gone. She's MIA. But she might be processing herself right now and needing a moment alone. Or she might have literally fell asleep. Or her phone died.
No, her phone died.
I figured.
Yeah, she wanted me to tell you afterwards, but since
Oh,
you're
no.
guessing,
Like I already knew. I said her phone died. So
yeah.
yeah.
She texts me, she's like, "Can you please let her know after that my phone's on 1% and it's dying?" I'm like, "Okay."
No. So the way that we program this is you have to lie down and get into theta or alpha, or excuse me, theta or gamma brainwaves. Kind of like what divine. Oh gosh, you're really clearing a lot, you guys. Like at first, I want to say congratulations. You guys literally have shifted so much and you don't even know it yet, and it's not fully out yet. Okay. So as I'm telling you, everybody schedule an appointment with me. I'm booked out 2 weeks already. So find some time in there to schedule when I'm going to send you a prepaid divine feeling like login, so that way you guys can book without having to pay. Okay. Book it so we can clear this out, because you're already clearing out a lot right now just by being here. Okay. So what we do is we lay down a lot like divine healing, because we have to be in theta or gamma brainwaves. So you need to be laying down, and we have to have a phone where I can see your body, so I can see the shifting happening within you as we reprogram. Okay. And then while you're laying there, then we say some certain command codes, we address the program, and then we rebirth the new program through command codes. Okay. So it's a lot of talking back and forth, but you just basically repeat what I say. So you're laying down, you're in theta. If you can get into gamma, that's dope. But if you can't, it's not a big deal. That is what I usually do the rebirthing process through. Okay. Because we got to talk about how it's feeling as we're rebirthing it. All right. I have a feeling that some of you are going to rebirth without even knowing you're rebirthing it. So tomorrow, Peter, if you're really bloated, like I feel like you're going to be the one that's going to just automatically process it through. If you feel super bloated and a little like unable to use the loo, don't worry. Okay, don't go get a colonics. Like don't take laxatives. Like don't, just allow your body to process. The next day you should flush it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same goes for you all, which is kind of the reason why I wanted to do it on a Friday night, so that way you guys didn't have to worry about going to work the next day. So just be prepared for that. Your body is going to release this trauma, toxins, all those layers of the onion. The only way it has to do it is through bodily fluids. So a lot of urine. So you need to make sure that you're drinking lots of water. Laura, I feel like you're going to be doing this too. So if you get bloated, just know that that's normal. Water, keep yourself hydrated. You might have a headache, and that's normal too. Okay. It's a lot of toxins, your body's shifting, your DNA and cells are shifting and changing to the new program. Okay. So you're going to feel sick. Okay. It's kind of like getting the flu shot. You're getting the flu shot so that you already have a headache. Well,
my neck is hurting.
Yeah. I'm like, my stomach is on fire. Like my ovaries is like ovulating big time, and I don't even do that anymore. Okay. So like, we're going to move on. We're going to rebirth a lot of stuff because it's very painful for me. Okay. Like I'm super transparent, by the way. I don't care. We're all human. Like we've been there, done that. Everything happens, right? It's not new. So, oh my gosh, wait, hold on. It's not new. Go to the loo. Sorry, that's what I'm hearing in my
Yeah,
head
no,
right
I
now.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
After our chat, the next day, I left an arm of a small child.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was.
When you get up and you're like, oh my God, like that should have been like in a cow field, that is gross.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm talking about, you guys. Like it will shock you that your body can produce that much
Crap.
Exactly. You're literally releasing all that crap, okay? It's like it's mind-blowing in itself just to witness it. Like just to be a part of it. Like I did that. Like that's photo worthy, right? That type of thing. Okay. Not like we would go take pictures of our poo. So like I'm just saying. That's what I mean, I'm transparent, okay? I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So just be prepared for that. Message me, give me a call. Don't call me, message me, and I'll send you the link. I want some time to myself tonight, so don't call. But I will be busy this weekend. So I won't be able to work with any of you guys over the weekend. But next week, if there's time available, I will schedule time for you. So just message me and we'll figure it out, okay? Because I want to clear these out for you, fully rebirth it. 'Cause if we don't, I'm gonna walk around in pain and I don't really want that. So we'll try and get you in as quick as possible, okay? Questions, comments? Did you like this? Are you blown away? Are you like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me right now? Like I need to tell everybody, like what's going on in your heads right now?
Yeah, I feel pretty blown. There was stuff coming up here that I did not expect, and I'm super thankful for that.
Yeah.
Because these things feel hard, which tells me that is something there to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, I need to call all my friends to tell them about you,
Thank you.
yeah.
I would appreciate that.
Yeah.
I only have one spot available. I'm waiting on you, man.
Okay.
Like you're in line with like 4 other people that are like trying to get their finances right to do it.
Yeah.
If you're ready for it, if you're not, then it's not. If you are, then I'm letting you know. That's it. Once I have 10, I don't do anymore. Okay.
Okay.
So you let me know because I had 2 spots that were kind of teetering, but now it's only 1.
Okay. Okay.
Jennifer pulled the trigger.
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, whenever. It's no big deal. I'm just letting you know where you're at. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go because I need some water and I need to go ground. And maybe use the restroom.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Hi guys. This is recorded, so I'll send it to you, but I need you guys to send me
outside. Bye.
Oh, Jules.
Talking to my dog. Cat.
Oh, yours. Jack? Wait, what dog? The dog I found you?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm a dog whisperer, guys. So, I need you guys to consent to post this on YouTube to share your stories as a webinar. So if you're not okay with that, then I understand and I won't be able to post it, but I need to share this with other people. So if you guys are okay with me sharing on YouTube, that would be awesome. I'd appreciate it. If you're not okay with it, I understand also. So give me a consent after. Just a text that says I consent or I do not consent. Okay. It's a consensus.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.